Alright, y'all. Day has finally come. The time has finally come for me to make this video. It's the end of the year, so it's time for that end of the year list. Now I'm going to be counting down my top 21 favorite records that came out this year, in 2021. There were a lot of them that didn't quite make the list, but these were the 21 records that I felt left the biggest impact on me and excited me the most while listening that came out this year. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, y'all. Here at number 21, we have To Hell With It by Pink Panthers. This was a record I saw getting a lot of action on TikTok. It was kind of an underground one that had a lot of mainstream appeal. I liked it a lot. It wasn't my favorite thing of the year, clearly. It's at number 21, which I think was a fair placement for it, because it felt a little bit short, and there were a few aspects of it that I didn't love. A lot of songs did feel a little bit samey on this project. But yeah, there's a lot of really, really good banger songs on here, and this is one that I definitely think deserved a spot on my list. Alright, here at 20, Spelling's The Turning Wheel. This record, it was one of the most haunting but delightful records that I heard this year. It was very outdoorsy feeling and almost like mysterious and creepy. It felt like it was a fairy tale book come to life. This record was enchanting and bizarre, and I liked most of what I heard here, even though I feel like there were a few things that, I don't know, on Spelling's vocal range that I feel like could have been cleared up a little bit on this record, but overall, just a great listen. Alright, here at 19, we have Valentine by Snail. This was a record I had a lot of excitement for, but was kind of let down by. The first teaser track we got for this album during its rollout was the title track, Valentine, which is absolutely exceptional. One of, if not my favorite song of 2021. If we're not talking about anything rap or hip-hop related, definitely my favorite song of the year, Valentine. And the second single to come out was Ben Franklin, and pretty good sequel to that track, but I didn't like it just as much as I did Valentine. But yeah, the rest of the record was a little bit underwhelming compared to those. I feel like if every song had been as good as Valentine, it probably would have been number one on albums, but other than that, yeah, it wasn't my favorite of the off this year. 18, we've got The Off Season by J. Cole. This record was creative, interesting. I think at some point there was rumored it would be J. Cole's last record, but I don't think that that's true. Yeah, this was a really creative one. I saw people putting this one a lot higher than me, but I wasn't crazy about it. I do actually think I own it on vinyl. One second. So yeah, I do. Off Season by J. Cole. I think for this record, I feel like J. Cole reintroducing features back into his songs was a very positive change, and I feel like it helped fill out this record, because I think that Cole's voice does get a little tiring, and the features helped break it up on a project like, I believe, KOD, another one of his records that doesn't have any features. I feel like that's desperately needed, and he fixed it here on this record, which I liked a lot about it. Alright, a more recent release I picked for this number 17 spot. This is going to be Fornum by Chief Keef. This record I listened to actually today, and I liked it so much that I figured it belonged a spot on here. I've seen barely anyone talking about this release, but it is super fun, super energetic. I feel like some of the songs dragged on for a little bit too long, been shorter, but it was a pretty to-the-point record that I liked quite a bit. Alright, here at 16 we've got 2.5 by Amine. This record is pretty short. I think it's only about 20 minutes long, but it's a lot of fun. The distorted sound that Amine kind of finds on this record is really cool, that I didn't really hear from any of his earlier songs. It was kind of matures here on this record, and I think it is probably my favorite of his works. Yeah, I think that this is a very promising record for Amine, and if I think he takes his music in a more kind of poppy, experimental direction that he did on this project, I think he could really thrive, not just in the mainstream, but also in the underground, which would be kind of cool to see him balance both sides of the spectrum. Alright, 15, we've got An Evening with Silk Sonic by Silk Sonic. This is Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak teaming up for the Dream Team on this absolutely phenomenal record. The kind of mixture of all sorts of different genres and sound on this project is absolutely welcome. It was really refreshing sound from a lot of the stuff I was hearing this year. It sounded very different to everything else. And I think it was a really, really great release, and probably my favorite record from both of them, even though I haven't really listened to a whole lot of either of their discographies. I think it was a very, very, very solid release. Moving on to our number 14 spot, we have Vince Staples with his self-titled album. I heard floating around that this record was created to be put into advertisements and commercials and stuff, which I think is kind of interesting, especially with him going with the self-titled, even though this isn't his first album. I thought that was kind of an interesting spin here. Yeah, this one had a lot of hits, like Are You With That? Its opening track, one of my favorite opening tracks of the year. Very fun, very crazy and wild album that I will definitely be revisiting here in the near future, and a couple of songs like I listen to on the daily. This is a great release from him. Taking our number 13 spot here, I've got Sometimes I Might Be Introvert by Little Sims. This was another release that I saw coming from the UK that I really, really, really enjoyed. I thought it was probably one of my favorite releases of the year, obviously, but you know, it was entertaining. There was a lot of thematically stuff that was really interesting going on. It felt almost theatrical with the way the album was presented and told, the story it told, and I just couldn't get enough of it. Yeah, it's a great album. Highly recommend. Number 12, Isaiah Rashad's The House Is Burning. This was a record I didn't like upon my first listen, but I went back and re-listened to it for making this video, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. One of Top Dog Entertainment's biggest hitters, Isaiah Rashad, coming in with his third studio album, and I really enjoyed this one. It was a fun project with some serious moments, but a lot of fun was had on this project, and you could tell. Alright, here at number 11, we've got Van Gogh's Left Ear by Z Loopers. This project intrigued me after hearing him live as an opener for JPEG Mafia, and it's really fun. It's insane and wacky. It made me laugh the whole time. I think about this project all the time. There's so many super memorable and quotable moments from this project that I just really can't get enough of it. It's crazy, it's insane, it's energetic, and it was even better live. Putting us up in the top 10, we have Super What by MF Doom and Czarface. The devastating death of MF Doom that led up to the release of this project. He died October 31st of last year. His death was announced coming up on just a year ago. Truly devastating, but I am very, very, very grateful that we were able to get this project, even as it's posthumous technically, which is very unfortunate. Quite possibly the final MF Doom record we will ever see, but you know, it's extremely enjoyable. Break in the action. If I was doing a best singles of the year video, which I almost did, but ended up getting scrapped, this was up there. Up there, up there, up there. I absolutely love this record, and it's truly devastating to say that we probably will never get another MF Doom album again after this one, because I couldn't imagine his team or whoever's in control of his estate releasing anything that wasn't completely finished by him or approved by him, so this is probably the last piece of media we will get from him. Here at number 9, we have King's Disease 2 by Nas. I think this was a great follow-up to King's Disease, Grammy award-winning project from last year. I think it was super fun, creative, told a very great story from Nas. Probably my second favorite Nas project, only behind the absolutely amazing Illmatic. Obviously, that's got to be everyone's favorite at this point. But yeah, I love this record to bits. And I can't wait to see. Possibly we'll be getting it. I'm assuming that in 2022 we'll be getting King's Disease 3. That would be awesome. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that release most definitely. One more thing I did want to add about King's Disease 2 here. I'm really liked the themes that were brought on this project of the disease of a king, someone who's been in the industry for so long like Nas and has such amazing projects. like Illmatic that he has to constantly live up to and strive to reach the same quality of, which is basically an impossible feat at this point. That was just such an interesting angle to get to hear Nas's story from that angle, because he is in such a unique position. And I think that it was a really, really interesting and captivating project that I absolutely adored this year. Alright, taking our number 8 place, we have Clairo's amazing follow-up project to her first debut, Sling. Sling is really great. I love this project a lot. It's super low-key and fun, and I think that it does surpass the amazingness of her first release, and I think that this is better than her first project, which is saying a lot because that project is absolutely amazing. Songs on here like Amoeba, Bambi, just stuff like that. It is a great listen that I will most definitely be returning to for years to come. This is the best best non-rap album of 2021 goes to Sling by Clairo. I loved this project. It is absolutely phenomenal. Alright guys, number 7, LP by JPEG Mafia. I'm going to go specifically with the offline version over the one that's on streaming services because I do prefer it. Songs like Hazard Duty Pay are absolutely essential to this track list. And that doesn't appear on the version that is on streaming services. So if you are going to listen to this project, I do recommend going onto YouTube and listening to the officially uploaded offline version because it is so much leaps and bounds better than this original release. If it was just the online version, it'd probably be more around 10, but I think 7 is a good place for this absolutely great project. All produced, written, sung, vocalized by JPEG Mafia himself. It's an absolutely great release. I don't think it stands up to All My Heroes Are Cornballs or Veteran in the JPEG Mafia discography, but still a great release. Coming in at my number 6 spot, I've got Roadrunner, New Light, New Machine by Brockhampton. This project is a return to form for Brockhampton. They've really got their style back. I think it's one of their best releases. Probably my 4th favorite Brockhampton project, but still, pretty good feat when they've got some true classics on them. The loss of Amir Van due to his sexual harassment that he incurred was a very big hit. He was one of the biggest hitters melodically and flow-wise for Brockhampton, but I feel like with a kind of rocky get back up, I think that they have risen back to their full potential without him and cut their losses and been able to grow as a group past that horrible tragedy that they had happen with them. Number 5, baby. We're here at number 5. The top 5 projects of the year. Number 5, we have Volcanic Bird Enemy and The Voiced Concern by Lil Uglymane. This album is subdued and chill. Songs like Benadryl Submarine and Human Fly are absolutely beautiful. Just like calming, just any badness that's in your life is washed away by this project. Its looks deceive you and are almost feel as if they're meant to keep away the unissued away from this project, but it is a true gem of the underground and my 5th favorite album of the entire year. Alright, here at number 4, we're really getting close. By the Time I Get to Phoenix by Injury Reserve. This is one of the, if not, the saddest project I've heard this year. With the loss of one of Injury Reserve's 3 members, this is a posthumous record at some level, and it is so sorrowful and just full of emotions and sadness. This album can be crushing at times with the weight that the words that these people are speaking hold. The sound is just like insane. It's like super experimental and bizarro, and I absolutely loved it. This is a absolutely exceptional project, but I feel, and the most emotional project that I listened to this year, except for maybe our number 2 spot, which I bet you could guess what that is, but you know. Yeah, this is a just great release, and time to get into the top 3, the big time. Number 3, we've got The Melodic Blue by Baby Keem. This record is probably the most fun I've had listening to an album this year. I keep going back and back and back to this project. Yeah, songs like Range Brothers, Trademark USA, obviously Family Ties. Just everything on this project screams he had fun making it. The inclusion of Baby Keem's cousin Kendrick Lamar on this project was an absolute slam dunk. They have so much chemistry. You can tell they just had a great time making this project. Yeah, he's on 3 tracks, and this project, on songs like Issues and Scars, it can get real too, so there is some emotional weight to this project. But yeah, that's my number 3 spot. Number 2, Donda by Kanye West. This absolutely belongs in this spot. Everything about this project, from the core feeling of the emotional loss of Kanye's mother Donda to the themes of police brutality, injustice in the judicial system in America, racism, gang wars, everything. This project has so many songs, so many features, because it is so many people telling their stories together and how their lives have shaped the kind of people that they are. Every single song on this project is masterful. Kanye West managed to create an energy and aesthetic around this project that is gothic and dark and beautiful. And it is just insane what he was able to do with this project, not only through the music, but through the album rollout itself, with the listening parties, the fashion that he brought into style with the masks and the spikes. Everything here is so meticulously crafted, and you can tell, especially I can tell because of how long I had to wait for it, how many revisions he was making. Every little piece of this project was scrutinizingly put together to create a absolute masterwork and one of Kanye's best albums to date. And number 1, I mean, you guys saw this one coming, Call Me If You Get Lost by Tyler, the Creator. Loved this project the night it came out, when I stayed up to 1 o'clock to listen to the whole thing. Still love it today. The vibe, the flexes that Tyler, the Creator, puts out during this project, his energy, his vibe. He took a step back from melodic moments, even though there are a lot on this project, and just wanted to create a true blue rap album, which I think he was absolutely able to do here. DJ Drama hyping him up in the background, absolutely perfect. Inclusions of features from people like Uzi, 42 Doug, Domo Genesis, even Youngboy. They all are amazing and helped to create Tyler's vision of this extravagant, luscious, exotic project. And this is why this is my favorite album that I listened to in 2021. So y'all, what did you think? Was there anything on this list that you think deserved to have a spot? Because I think I hit about all the points that I wanted to on this one. This video was a long time in the making. I've had this notes app on my phone that every time I listen to an album, I'd rank it on there since like February of this year. So this album, I've had the foresight of creating it since even back then. So I'm hoping and praying that you enjoyed watching, and I will see you all in 2022. Actually, no, I won't, because I'm making that Whole Lotta Red video on Christmas Day. Shh, no spoilers for that, though, so get excited. I'm gonna put that at the end of the video.